Hi guys, this is a question from Apex for writing symmetrical functions. So you can pause this video right now to read this example. I highly recommend you understanding the greatest integer function before starting this problem because it's a word problem based on it. So if you're confused about the greatest integer function, first review that topic before continuing this question. So first here, they give you like a quick summary how the students in Arizona do their grade point average, which is very similar, which is basically the same what we do here. So if you get an A, you get 4 points, a B 3 points, C 2 points, and D 1 point. So what we want is to create a formula so that if we put in any percentage between 90 through 100, it'll give us 4. And if we put in any number between 80 to 90, it'll give us a 3. So we're going to use our greatest integer function, so it rounds down to a 4, to a 3, to a 2, or to a 1. You'll notice that there's no such thing as you getting like a 3.3 in one class, because a class will only give you a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1. That's why we need to use the greatest integer function. It'll round down to the nearest integer. So here are the key numbers here. Here's 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are some key numbers that we're going to look at. And we have 90, 80, 70, 60 that we're going to look at. So we need to think of a formula. And honestly, if you ask me, like, Miss O, give me like the step-by-step way. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as that. You have to kind of think on your own. It's like you're creating your own formula to make this work. So for me, I'm noticing a pattern here. I noticed that if I look at the tens digit here, if I subtract 5, I get the grade point. So for example, if I did this 9 here minus 5, I get 4. If I do 8 minus 5, I get 3. 7 minus 5, I get 2. And 6 minus 5, I get 1. So I noticed that pattern, but you'll notice that that's only the tens digit, so I can't really subtract by 5. It's technically me subtracting by 50. So I want you to see that I'm going to do like here. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Sorry. 90 minus 50, and you'll notice I get 40, right? 80 minus 50, I get 30. 70 minus 50, I get 20. 60 minus 50, and I get 10. So although we're a little bit off here, you'll notice that I picked up a pattern. I was able to get from this percentage number somewhat similar to the grade point. But you might think, but Miss O, that says 4.0, but this is 40, 3.0, and 30. So maybe for our formula, we're going to, let me just choose a different color so you guys can see it. Divide by 10. Ooh. Okay. So what happens if I divide by 10? Then this 40 becomes 4.0, 30 becomes 3.0, 2.0, 1.0. So now you'll see that if I replace these percentages with x, my formula is saying x minus 50 divided by 10 will get us our grade point for that class. Okay, so let's try it. If we were in class, I would ask you to give me a percentage, but I'm going to think of a random percentage. So let's say our example is 86%. Per this question, if a student got an 86% in a class, right, they would get 3 points for that class. So if I plugged in 86 here into this equation, so 80, oops, it's a funky little 8, there you go, 80, 86 minus 50 divided by 10. So you'll see that I get, 36 divided by 10 equals 3.6. So if I made this my final answer, it gives me 3.6. But remember, when you get an 86% in your class, your grade point isn't 3.6. You're only supposed to get 3.0. So we only want the 3, we don't want the 0.6. So this is where we're going to use the greatest integer function, and we're going to round down and consider only the greatest integer. So we're going to adjust my formula. I want my formula to just have the greatest integer function bar, like this. So if I got the greatest integer of 3.6, the answer would be 3. And now you'll notice, oh, that's cool, right? Now you'll notice that if a student gets an 86% and I input it into this formula, calculate, 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 we get 3.6, but because of the greatest integer function, we round down to the nearest integer and we get 3, which is exactly what we wanted. So to kind of finalize my formula here in this red box, I am going to put the greatest integer bars here to finalize this question. And we could use a different example. I know I did 86, so let's do a different one. Example 92%. So if I put into, now I'm going to put my greatest integer bars because I know I'm going to use it. 92 minus 50 divided by 10. Then I get 42 divided by 10. 4.2. And because I have the greatest integer bars, round down, oops, apologies, 4. And if you get a 90%, 92% in a class, you would get 4 points for that class. Of course, since you guys are taking AP Calculus and it's an AP course, you would get an additional point. So maybe if this was a formula for AP class, you would just do a point plus 1 at the end just to represent that whatever grade you get in that class, you just get an additional grade point. But of course, they didn't really say that here, so it's a 4. Yep. And then that is it for this question.